How you doing, everyone? And welcome to this episode of the Isaac Hayes Show, talking about life, talking about liberty, and yes, talking about the pursuit of happiness and showing everyone in the world that us Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day wherever you're located. Just remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. Want to give a shout out to Handy News. So last episode, as you know, most of the time I do this in the morning. And I'm just assuming that everything's going to go well. And the show was not out on time. It aired at 12:30. It premiered, and Handy News rated our stream at 12:30. So we had a real good audience that was in the chat. Hope they come back before, and hopefully everything works out good. I'm recording this well in advance, so we have enough time to upload and everything like that. But I have been having issues with Rumble. I have been having issues with my internet provider. It has been a wild ride, but most of you have stayed and hang out with us, even through the times and tribulations of this platform that we are on. Now, we are on YouTube and Facebook as well for the video side. Now, the podcast got out on time. Look, I got to give props to Spotify. Spotify does a real good job getting my podcasts out, and we're just excited, that we had the podcast out on time. But video podcasting, Rumble and Facebook are two of my biggest platforms. Do TikTok every so often now, but yeah, it's just it's been a wild ride, and just not for me, for several of the content creators that are on this platform. But we believe in Rumble. I know Rumble's going to get it done. They're going to help us out. They're going to get it right, and let's just hope I can get back on Facebook. Other content creators, they're on Facebook. I just don't know why I'm not on Facebook. I've been trying to reconnect the app, and it still wouldn't work. It might work this time. We might be on Facebook now. Who knows? I will try after. Anyway, we got a lot of news that has happened over the past few days, and it's right close to the weekend. The holidays are coming up. I want to go ahead and tell everybody, hey, in the chat that is in there, please continue to like and subscribe to the show, like the video, and help out this poor Cajun boy as we go ahead and try to move up in the algorithms. All right, let's start. And the first thing I want to talk about is Biden again. So Biden went ahead and commuted a few sentences today, yesterday. See, I'm getting my times all mixed up. Anyway, but yesterday, President Joe Biden went ahead and commuted a few sentences and also did some pardons. Now, this isn't irregular, okay? Presidents normally do this when they're running out the door, and President Joe Biden is out the door. He was not. Look, he was voted out. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't technically voted out either, because his own party was like, "Hey, you're gonna get out the door. We want this shiny new object," and that shiny new object didn't help either. But presidents normally do this. Now, he caught a lot of backlash, or this stuff with Hunter Biden. He had a lot of people that reacted to this. Even Democrats were like, "Hey, this isn't right. You shouldn't be pardoning your son on charges that he was proven to be that he done." So you got to imagine, it has to be bad. I'm going to talk about this later on again. It's bad when Democrats don't agree with you, or your own party don't agree with you. But Joe Biden has been talking about pardons ever since then. But he pardoned Hunter Biden, got a lot of people upset with him because he said I wasn't going to do it, and Democrats were like, "Hey, he did the crime. It's been proven in court, and he admitted to it." See, that's the difference between Donald Trump and Hunter Biden, by the way, too. All you left-leaning people are, Donald Trump's a convicted felon, and you still voted for him. Donald Trump never admitted to doing what he did. Hunter Biden did. So, but anyway, so he went ahead and commuted a lot of sentences. He also did some pardons, but it's funny who the people that he committed. I want to go ahead and pull up the article. Let's see. That's right here. So Joe Biden did 1,500 individuals, 1,500. 1,500 individuals had their sins commuted on Thursday. He also did some pardons of a few people as well, according to Fox News. But Do you know who these people were? Well, just to give you a quick summary of who it was cartel leaders, crack dealers, notorious fraudsters, as part of the border calamity push. Ladies and gentlemen, he is letting go. Look, this is what gets me upset, okay, about all this. He says the border is not open. He did not want the border open, but we had a flow of migrants come in through this country, like, and he's like, well, I respect law, and this ain't showing it. Hey, for border security and not border security. I'm trying to find the right words to say because I'm so upset right now. Let me take a deep breath. This guy says that he cares about the rule of law and that the border is not open. But to push this citizenship and this whatever this is, he's going to let proven criminals give them, just to say, let them walk off the streets. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe Biden did this with high-profile criminals and people that are trying to hurt. Okay, I wouldn't have got upset. Because Biden even says, well, this is to go ahead and for people that were put in jail unjustly. Really? Criminals? Proven criminals? You just commute. You know how many people are probably in jail that did not get a fair shake? Do you know how many people? I wouldn't have been upset if it would have been somebody. Like, for a perfect example, the people that went to jail for singing in the hallway at an abortion clinic. I wouldn't have minded a pardon for that. I wouldn't have mind him, commuting a sins like that. No, those are bad people. The people that are singing in abortion clinics, that's some bad people. They need to stay in jail. But the cartel leaders and the fraudsters and the crack dealers and all, they're fine. Let them get out. They need to go home and be with their family for Christmas. This is the issue I'm having with this. This is the issue that I cannot get over. This I'm trying to respect the current president of the United States, but it's hard. This old fart is showing his true colors. I don't know if I offended somebody by saying that, but I'm just gonna be honest. This man, well, we're not opening the borders. We're not letting people in. The same guy that flew them all over the country and gave them, put them in hotels, 5-star hotels, and the federal government paid for them. This man, I'm for the rule of law, but he's commuting sentences from cartel leaders and criminals and fraudsters and crack dealers. Is that a man that's really respecting our way of life in this country? Where our country is ruled by a set of laws that we are supposed to follow? If you notice from the story too, by the way, and I got it from the Daily Caller, excuse me. If you think about it, Biden, this is all political. I'm letting these people go because they didn't get a fair shake because of the color of their skin. No, they broke the law. I don't know if they're legal or not. I don't care if they're legal or not. If you broke the law, you need to pay for it. I can hear all these people. Well, like Trump broke the law. He's been convicted. Also, almost all them courts, all them cases are in appeal and they're about to be dropped. I'm just letting you know because, there was nothing there. They would have lost in appeals if Donald Trump wouldn't have won for president. Again, the impact of these decisions. Hey, all these people that he commuted today are probably going to go out there and do what they want to do again. They're not going to go ahead and be law-abiding citizens and take the opportunity that the president of the United States on political grounds did. But since we're talking about pardons, I do want to bring up this too. I don't think these are the only pardons or commute sentences that he's going to do, and because we've been talking for a while now that he is considering on preemptively pardoning Trump's opponents. This story, let me go ahead and pull it up, came from the Daily Caller, and this story was out a few days ago. Let's see if it pulls up. It's not pulling up for some reason. Anyway, let me just go ahead and read my story summary. Experts discussed the possibility that Biden can use preemptive pardons to Trump opponents, a move that would set a controversial precedent for executive power. So Biden is thinking about, again, and we talked about this a while back, of pardoning like Lindsey Graham. Dick Cheney's daughter. I can't think of her name right now. Anyway, Liz Cheney. Thank you. I'll give myself an applause. Want to go ahead and pardon Liz Cheney and others that criticized Donald Trump. And this is all because, like I said, if they did nothing wrong, why does he want to give them a preemptive? Yeah, because Donald Trump's a dictator, and Donald Trump's going to go ahead, and Donald Trump's going to put them in jail, and he's going to go after his political opponents. Like the Democrats don't know nothing about that. Remember, for the last 4 years, they've been going after Donald Trump. And they really amped it up when he decided to run for president again. And they were trying to put him in jail and label him as a criminal so people wouldn't vote for him. Yeah, the Democrats don't know nothing about going after political opponents. Now, Donald Trump has been proven, by the way, because we're going to mention Hillary Clinton in a little while, that when Hillary Clinton was running for president and he used the term lock her up and, hey, you're going to be put in jail, when he got there, he said, for the good of the country, I'm not going to go after her. Oh, Isaac, you got to realize, as The View would properly say, you got to realize he has full immunity now. The Supreme Court was just ruling and saying, hey, the Constitution does give. That means it was always there if he did have full immunity. The View keeps forgetting, or they willfully don't want to remember, that the reason the full immunity process, you still have to, if the president did something wrong, there's an impeachment process, and after he's impeached, he can be criminally charged for what he was impeached for. See, if you don't remember that, they don't think we live in America, where we have 3 branches of government and each branch of government holds checks and balance to the other. But this is why he wants to do it. Well, Trump's going to go after his political opponents. Now, this is why I'm bringing this up, because prominent Democrats don't want this to happen. One being a former president of the United States. Bill Clinton went on The View, does not surprise me. Clinton went on The View and warned against preemptive pardons. Bill Clinton voices concerns over the idea of Biden preemptively pardoning his wife, Hillary Clinton, or other Trump opponents, fearing the political consequences. Look, Bill Clinton was not the greatest president in the world, but this man was smart enough when he was president of the United States and Neil Gorsuch took over the House of Representatives that he went to his side, and that's how Bill Clinton somewhat has a reputation of being a good president, because he knew he lost the House, and they made the contract for America, and he worked with the Democrats, something Biden never did. The Republicans, excuse me. But and he bringing this up, fearing the political consequences. Bill Clinton is a Class A politician. He knows when he needs to work with the other side to get something done. And Bill Clinton also knows the consequences of this. Him doing this when Trump's nearing the end of office, and if the Democrats would win, hopefully not, but if the Democrats would win in 2028, that Donald Trump could do this. Donald Trump could preemptively pardon his children. He can preemptively pardon his cabinet staff. And now this goes to a whole nother point as well. If they do something wrong, like Hunter Biden did, and say, hey, we're going to pardon you for the last 4 years, in case you did something wrong. Bill Clinton has a point here. I never thought I would say this, but Bill Clinton has a point, and I agree with Bill Clinton. Biden should not do this. Look, okay, and even pardons. I said this the other day. Pardon them for something they've done. Not in case you've done something. I don't understand that. Okay, and look, I don't know if the founding fathers thought about it or what, but I'm just making that point. There's pardons out there for in case you've done something wrong. You're covered. Don't worry about it. Pardon should only be for something that you did. Look, even Biden could have done that with Hunter Biden. Joe Biden could have done that with Hunter Biden. He could have commuted his sins. But see, he wasn't sentenced yet. That's the issue. But Bill Clinton is correct. And look, he's not the only one that disagrees with this. Another Democrat senator this is from the Daily Wire. Democrats say he won't support Biden's preemptive pardons for Trump critics. Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat of Connecticut, made it clear that he was not in favor of President Joe Biden issue preemptive pardons for members of the January 6th committee and other critics of Donald Trump out of fear that the president-elect could seek retribution once he takes office. Richard Blumenthal don't want this. He said this is bad. This is bad. This is look. Biden is messing up. Biden's gone. Okay, Biden. I think that's why Biden's doing this. He knows he's not worried about re-election. I heard someone say that the other day. Man, funny if he comes back in 2028 and try to run again. He possibly could. I don't know if he'll be able to make it. But this man is ruining the Democratic Party. And this could be also another reason too. Just thinking about it. They screwed him out of a nomination, and he's trying to get back at them. I don't know, man. I just see this as, I don't know. What is Biden doing? Is Biden really that dense that somebody is telling him to do this because it might look good on him? Because I tell you, if he's trying to keep his reputation up, it ain't working. This man needs to get out of the White House. He should have got out of the White House a long time ago. I don't know why the Democrat Party and Kamala Harris didn't invoke the 25th Amendment. But the stuff Biden's doing is just making me scratch my head. And I think this is hurting. This is hurting the Democrat Party because the Democrats can't justify what he's doing now. He's going full rampant. President Joe Biden is going full cognito. I don't know what this man's doing. And what scares me, this is the man that's running the country, for the next 40-some days. It scares me. All right, moving on. John Fetterman is making the news, and he's ruffling feathers. Not because of something bad. It's just good on our end. But Senator John Fetterman has been making headlines with comments and actions that suggest a shift in his political stance. This isn't good for Democrats. See, in the Senate, is projected that there's going to be 53 Republican seats and 47 Democrat seats. And it's tight right now. It's 50. It's nearly 50-50. I think the Democrats have it by one. It's tight. The country is really divided down the middle. And him shifting his political stance is helping Republicans. His recent statements on Trump and Hunter Biden, as well as his support for Republican Representative Elliot Steckeford, are raising high eyebrows. Now, this is a question that I'm bringing out. Could this be the next Joe Manchin? The reason I'm asking that is, remember, Joe Manchin was the one that Republicans would, hope this would be the guy that flipped, him and Kristen Sinema. Joe Manchin though was more out there than he was more in the news helping Republicans than Christian Sinema was. But Joe Manchin was the one that could be that yeah, because remember it was 50-50 or 51-49. If it flipped, it had to go to Kamala Harris casting a tiebreaker vote. It was Joe Manchin was the one that you didn't know what he was going to do. He could agree with Trump, or he could agree with Biden, or he could go with the Republicans or go with the Democrats. You just really didn't know. And look, when he turned independent, he really justified his actions. But he's gone. He didn't run for re-election. He wants to retire. Him, Christian Sinema, and you always want to know who's going to pick up that middle. That who's going to pick up. Who's going to take over his spot as the one that's going to be that on the fence Democrat. And look, I'm not for John Fetterman. I don't think John Fetterman should have ran. I think John Fetterman should have dropped out. I was watching an interview with him earlier, and he had to have his phone and listen to the guy and trying to react. This man had a major stroke when he was running. And you would think, hey, this guy is the one that's going to fall right in line because all the lights ain't on upstairs. But it's starting to look like he's falling. He's going to like line up with the Republicans. First off, we got to talk about him going on Truth Social, which is a big news in itself. And he called I want to go ahead and read it because he slammed the legal cases on Truth Social. Why is it not working? There we go. Yeah, so Fetterman says he is unsure. Oh, why is this one up? What? I don't know why I said that. Anyway, but yeah, so he said that the Trump cases were all political. He also, let me go to my real notes because I can go ahead and pull it up. There we go. Because I really want to read this story. Let's see. Yeah, so Fetterman slams legal case against Trump, Hunter Biden, and first Truth Social case were both bullcrap. I'm not going to say the other word. He also had some headlines on meeting with Pete Hegseth. He don't know why that is he wants to meet with Pete Hegseth, and he wants to talk to Pete Hegseth and possibly vote for him. And the left is criticizing him. I can't believe you want to meet. And he said to CNN, I don't see why it's controversial. I never met the guy. I didn't know who he was until he was nominated. So I want to see what we agree on and what we don't agree on. Pretty good stance. Also, Fetterman support Steckfried, I hope I'm saying that lady's name right, for UN ambassador. He said this was a hard yes. He said he was never going to vote no on this. So John Fetterman all of a sudden has a change of heart towards things of for Donald Trump, and a change of heart for policies going forward. Now, this could be for a couple of reasons. It could mean that he knows that they're up creek without a paddle, and he's smarter than most Democrats apparently, because Democrats are, we're gonna fight them tooth and nail, and John Fetterman's like, we gotta listen to these people. He may be seeing the poll. He may have seen the polls. He could have seen that Pennsylvania turn red this election, and he's worried about his re-election bid. It could be a lot of things. And because of that pressure, John Fetterman could help the Republican Party on them key votes. Now, look, again, there are 53 senators that are Republican that are supposed to be coming in. But unfortunately, and we've been talking about it for the last couple of episodes, there are these 1 to 2 Republicans that are like, well, we can't stand Trump, and we're not going to vote for him. Or we're not going to vote for his people. With their nose in the air, and guess what? We're back to a 50-50 Senate. We don't know what's going to happen. But I think, this thing about this for a second. How upset would the Democrats be if John Fetterman's like, they don't want to vote for him, but I'll vote for him? I'm just saying, it could happen. It could happen. And this could be a good thing for us. Just making them start, like I said, but that was the first thing I thought of when I saw these stories. Could John Fetterman be the next Joe Manchin? but he switched to independent. If that would happen, I'll say, yeah, exactly. Now, look, again, don't get me wrong. And we're going to talk about Joe Manchin and Christian Cinema hopefully later on. But these two people were a thorn in the Democrat side. You didn't know what they were going to do. Remember, Joe Manchin was one of them until the the not Inflation Reduction Act was put into play. He was stopping it. And the Democrats were Joe, you need to do inflation, you need to do. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So like I said, it all depends on what's going on. All right, let's move on. This week, FBI Director Wray announced that he was resigning from the FBI. He announced his resignation, a move that has generated both praise and concern, with conservatives suggesting Kash Patel as the possible replacement. Now, excuse me. Kash Patel, if I'm not mistaken, was put up for. Let me make sure. I'm trying to remember. Okay, it's not showing up. Let's. All kind of buttons. Trying some new stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I know Kash Patel was put up for something. Let's see. Which leads me to Donald Trump. This all came because President Donald Trump said that Kash Patel is the most qualified to lead the FBI. This will happen Wednesday afternoon. This happened on while my show was going on Wednesday, and Handy News broke it. I'm trying to see. Kash Patel. Yeah, so I guess Kash Patel was the one that let's see. I'm trying to find out. Trying to read the art. So Donald Trump did nominate Patel as the FBI director earlier this month. So it goes back to Kash Patel being nominated for this position, which he was already nominated. If to be honest with you, I think Director Wray knew he was fired. Okay, he was going to do the same thing he did with the guy that was nominated before him. I can't think of his name. Man, I bet the chat's blowing up because I don't know why I can't think of these. I see his face. He's the one that said, Hillary Clinton did delete emails and it was wrong, but no sensible prosecutor would go ahead. I can't remember his name, but anyway, but Donald Trump also put Wray's in there, by the way. Just saying that. And for some reason, the FBI director, the current FBI director, had all kind of stuff going on. And ladies and gentlemen, this is big news. Because Director Wray allowed a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. And you would think somebody that was nominated for Trump, that was nominated by Trump, would have protected Trump, but no, he didn't. Now, look, don't get me wrong. If Trump did something wrong, the FBI director needs to go ahead and work on this. But it even goes to the point, too, the FBI is a I'm trying to be real nice about this, and maybe I shouldn't, because the FBI has its issues. The FBI has allowed a lot of stuff in the past to go unnoticed. And it's sad that we've come to this point, but look, even Director Wray has a hand in on something with January 6th. Remember, he was one to say, well, we didn't have no FBI directors or FBI people in on January 6th. And it came out today, the IG review FBI information that in January 6th, that I think 27 informants for the FBI was in there, and some even went into the Capitol. Heard Dan Bongino talk about it yesterday, that they didn't prosecute these people that went into the Capitol. None of these FBI people that were at January 6th. It's been proven now. We've been saying this for several years, that on January 6th there were some people from the FBI in the crowds, and we were told we were conspiracy theorists. But now the IG has revealed that. They revealed that they had people in the crowds that day. Confidential informants. That's what the report says. This was all done. This was all done under Wray's watch. Not talking about the raid on Mar-a-Lago. Not talking about other things. And Christopher Wray was like, well, you know what? I'm out before Inauguration Day. Good. And Kash Patel needs to do a sweep of the FBI. And I can hear my critics. People saying, well, Isaac, you're saying that because you want them to give Trump a clear slate. No, I want respect back in the FBI. Nobody respects the FBI anymore. None. Zilch. Nada. The FBI is, I'm not going to say corrupt, but there's issues in the FBI that Christopher Wray would not tackle. Maybe somebody paid him. I don't know. Look, Donald Trump at the time, when he picked him, Donald Trump didn't know what he was doing. I don't know why Donald Trump picked him, but I think Donald Trump learned his lesson, and I think Kash Patel will be a great FBI director. We're going to have to wait and see when he gets nominated, and this is a 10-year term. So Kash Patel, unless he's fired by the next president, has a job for a little while. Just saying, Christopher Wray's being fired is a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, let's move on to the next story. This is pretty interesting. Democrats block Biden's pro-union nominee. We're going back to Christian Sinema and Joe Manchin. They were the two Democrats or independents. We have to be, technical because they are independent. They moved to independent. Help prevent the confirmation of Biden's pro-union labor board nominee, signaling their ongoing influence in blocking key points of the Biden administration. And I'm gonna go to the notes here. Let's see if it's the right one because let's do this instead of doing that. Let's do this. Okay, let's go to the story. Yeah, so Christian Sinema and look, conservatives are doing, are holding this as a victory, but yeah, Christian Sinema and Joe Manchin helped tank pro-union Biden's labor board nominee on their way out the door. Senator Chuck Schumer attempted to cement the Biden-Harris administration labor agenda deep into President-elect Trump's second term, suffered a notable defeat Wednesday afternoon after two ex-Democrat senators helped tank a controversial labor nominee. They voted with the Republican Party and shot this down. And look, again, the Senate is real tight. Now, why did Christian Sinema and Joe Manchin do this? I honestly believe is because of all the criticism of the Democrat Party and the Biden administration. The Biden administration and the Democrats have been pushing Joe Manchin and Christian Sinema for going across the other side of the aisle. Now, look, this labor union person that was already there, this was a renomination. They were trying to put it back. And Chuck Schumer knows, every administration does this, right, left, it don't matter. They try to push in people that's going to keep their agenda going. And Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden was trying to do that. Look, Joe Biden don't want to be known as the president that got all his agendas done in one day. And it's going to happen. January 20th, almost all the executive orders that Donald Trump's going to sign is going to wipe away majority of Joe Biden's legacy. And he's a lot of it's going to save the country because, again, the border, when Trump was out of office, Biden wiped away all his policies by executive orders. That's the bad thing about executive orders, and you don't submit them into law. But this right here needed to get done because this happened on Trump's first term. It wasn't done this way though. Okay, they're trying to rush these nominations to be confirmed. Last time it was people part of the deep state telling Trump, hey, you need to pick him. He's going to help you. And these people that were encouraging Trump to do certain things were part of the deep state, and they were sabotaging his administration. And this is what the Democrats are trying to do. Because Donald Trump's picks so far have been all right. So we're going to have to see what happens. But I just think this is pretty neat. And you're not hearing of the bipartisanship, by the way. Okay, I got this on conservative news networks. You're not hearing about the bipartisanships. You're not hearing about anything that hey, this is all good. No, you're just hearing, the key nomination got blocked. Let's go. Why the media is not playing this? Because these are Democrats. Also, on another note, look, I'm gonna give a shout out to J.D. Vance. Usually, a vice presidential elect don't mess with issues like this. He went vote for this because he knew this couldn't happen. So, Christian Shenema and Joe Manchin, I give you a pat on the back, and happy you did this. All right, let's move on. The Daily Wire has an exclusive story. When I first read this, I was like, wow, Biden is doing it again. What is Biden doing? Well, the goal is to move it all off the border before Christmas. Arizona Border Patrol agent tells the Daily Wire. This is the exclusive from the Daily Wire. Biden races to sell off border wall parts before Trump takes office. Now, you remember we talked about in the first segment how Joe Biden is commuting sentences from cartel leaders and crack dealers, and he's saying that this is for calamity, and that this is the show unity, and this is whatever his reasonings were. And I'm going to add it on to this point: President Joe Biden don't care about the law. The law is clear that you do not cross this border illegally. And a border wall would hinder that. Do you know that ever since Joe Biden has gotten into office, he has been selling parts of the border wall? And there's some apparently still in Arizona that's just been sitting there since Donald Trump has gotten out of office. Now Joe Biden, trying to hinder Donald Trump finishing the wall, is selling the parts. Now, we don't know where this money is going to, probably to Ukraine, because apparently Biden is trying to sell everything and trying to get more money for Ukraine. This is maybe why he's trying to sell the border wall. But video obtained exclusively by the Daily Wire from the U.S. Custom and Border agent shows unused sections of the wall being hauled away on the back of flatbed trucks from a section of the border just south of Tucson, a hotspot for illegal crossings during the Biden administration. The agent estimated that up to half a mile per day of unused border wall is being moved. They are taking it from 3 stations. The Border Patrol agent, who was granted anonymously, he wanted to stay anonymous to speak freely, told the Daily Wire their goal is to move all of it off the border before Christmas. And Biden really cares about the law. Biden don't want open borders. Biden wants... No. Look, actions speak louder than words. So you're telling me that the Biden administration is hauling off pieces of wall, and they want to get it done before Christmas, meaning they want to get it done before Donald Trump gets into office. And they don't want an open border. This is also to cripple Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump was thinking, when I get into office, this wall that's there, I can just put it up and it'll be easy. But now Donald Trump got to go find more funding to build a border wall. And I hope Congress gives it to him. I hope Congress gives him the money. And President Joe Biden ain't getting top dollar for this stuff. No, he's getting pennies on the dollar. I'm hoping. Well, let's even go with this, okay? It went to an auction site, according to Daily Wire. And the bidding for each section of wall panel is set to begin at only $5, according to the website. $5 a sheet. Now, I don't know how much President Donald Trump paid for this, but it was more than $5 a sheet. I promise you. Crane from Arizona, whose congressional district this is in, said the Biden administration is purposely hamstringing Trump before he takes office. The Biden administration is well aware they shouldn't have reversed the construction of the border wall. If it's true, they're purposely hamstringing an incoming president. It wouldn't be shocking, Crane told the Daily Wire. Why would they want to see President Trump succeed with policies they aggressively sabotage? Again, this speaks volumes. I don't have to say too much. I don't have to say too much. Look, Biden is trying to hurt Donald Trump's presidency. Look, he's mad at the Democrats. I'm not gonna hide that fact. He's mad at the Democrats for what they did to him. But he's also mad at Donald Trump. Donald Trump challenged him. Donald Trump exposed him in June. I think, look, to be honest with you, I don't say this too much. I just think Biden's trying to give the double barrel finger to anybody in his way. And look, he knows that, I'm just going to be honest with you, he knows that Donald Trump's going to investigate Burisma. Donald Trump's going to investigate him. And look, he don't want Donald Trump to succeed. No Democrat want to see Donald Trump succeed. But this right here, he's just not giving the double barrel finger to President Donald Trump. He's giving the double barrel finger to America. Because his job is to protect us, and he's not protecting us by selling this wall. All right, moving on. Elizabeth Warren made the news this week, as the last couple of days as well. Now this is the lady that that Rush Limbaugh famously called Pocahontas, because she made the comment that she was part Indian, or Native American. I'm sorry to all the people that were offended. I'm trying to pull the article up here. She made a statement, and yeah. So she made the statement. She was making a speech, and she executed the outrage at the healthcare industry many Americans have expressed following the assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on Tuesday. Let me go to her quote. He was shot by an individual that wanted back surgery or something like that. But Warren was asked the question, when asked about the killing, Warren remarked that violence is never the answer. I agree with her on that statement. Violence is not the answer. You should never turn to violence to resolve an issue. But claim that people can only be pushed so far, and that the health insurance company should consider the outcry of outline support for monogamy a warning. That's what she said. Again, violence is never the answer, but people can be only pushed so far, Warren said in an interview with the Huffington Post. I thought it was a press conference. But now this has sparked off a lot of reaction. And basically saying, hey, look, I don't condone violence, but it would have happened because the health insurance system is so bad. Now, Warren is the outspoken advocate of government health care and introduced the Corporate Crimes Against Healthcare Act of 2024 in June to root out corporate greed and private equity abuse in the healthcare system. She also spoke at a Senate hearing in April titled "When Healthcare Becomes Wealth Care: How Corporate Greed Puts Patients' Care and Health Workers at Risk." I want to bring out a point right here just reading this. It's kind of funny how when they talk about greed and corruption in the healthcare system, but what about the greed and corruption in politics? Ooh. Nancy Pelosi didn't become a millionaire just overnight. She was in Congress for a while. Her husband too. Her husband, made a lot of deals that, remember the economy crisis when spouses from political politicians, they were told something, they pulled it out, and all of a sudden they crash. I wonder how they knew that. I wonder how these spouses for politicians knew this. Corporate crime and greed and wealth care. But really, Elizabeth Warren, how do you make all your money? Don't you telling me that people don't give you funds? I just started thinking about it. It's just funny how you hear politicians talk about greed and corruption, and majority of Democrats they're greedy and they're corrupt. Making that point. Now I want to make out a few points out of this because first off, Elizabeth Warren should have never ever made this statement. A political figure should never ever make a statement like this. That people can only be pushed so far. Because she didn't condone the violence, but she didn't condemn it either. And look, I understand she has issues with the healthcare system. But Elizabeth Warren, you just basically said, hey, if he pushes so far and didn't condemn it, you didn't condemn it. That means you might be condoning it. She should never have made this statement. Now, again, this is a Democrat, so they probably don't care. And she's in a liberal state where she's going to get elected again. Now, also, I want to make a point with this. And I talked about this story last time we were together. That it's funny how you have liberals that were praising this murder. And they were trying to some way justify it. As Elizabeth Warren just said, you're only pushing people so far. So, And I was watching this the other day when hearing about this story, and this is the first thought that came to mind. And let me know if you agree in the chat with this. It's funny how everyone is trying to blame the health insurance industry or the healthcare industry for this incident. Elizabeth Warren just did. You have several other people that are making the statement that the insurance company is bad and they're evil and they're greedy and they're this and this. Oh, this is what drove this man to do this. What about the individual that carried the firearm into New York, waited for this man who was unarmed, and shot him? Why don't we blame that individual? You're also knowing too, I'm just making that point, I'm just throwing it out there. You're not hearing the left talk about gun violence with this incident too. Okay, every school shooting we hear gun violence, gun violence, gun violence. You should stop push gun laws, stop the gun violence. You notice we're not talking about gun violence? Maybe because the left, and I'm just assuming, but maybe the left wanted this to happen. It fits their agenda. Hey, this man was so angry and upset at the health insurance because they didn't provide the right health insurance. Now, the murderer, by the way, was an Ivy League person, meaning he had money. Heard this from Handy News the other day. He had money. He could afford a surgery if the insurance didn't want to pay, but he wanted the insurance to pay for it. And the insurance told him no. That does not justify you going and take a firearm and murder somebody. But the left, it's the insurance. It's all, and look, we talk about this all the time with guns. If a person commits gun violence, they want to blame the gun. It's the gun. The gun did it. They don't talk about the idiot that was standing behind the gun. Same thing with this. These insurance people should have gave him what he was. They wouldn't have shot the CEO. It's not the insurance company didn't tell the man to go shoot the CEO of the company. You have to blame the individual that pulled the trigger. But see, the left is good at that. The left don't want to blame the individual behind the gun. Let's blame the firearm, or let's just blame the health insurance. Health insurance, they should have helped them. Now look, don't get me wrong, there is some loopholes in the healthcare system. I will give that. Okay, there's corruption probably in every aspect of life. But you're telling me that these individuals are not. They're not. Look, this man was wrong for doing this. You're not hearing too many liberals say that, because you see what he did. It somehow or another fits their agenda, they think. And to be honest with you, I think America's starting to see this. Like, wow, these people are happy that this murderer killed the CEO of a health insurance. I'm just making those points. That whole case is weird, by the way. I'm starting to see a lot of stuff, and I'm still doing my research on it. All right, let's talk about Pete Hegseth, because they're still trying to knock Pete Hegseth out of becoming the Secretary of Defense. And I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. I like Pete Hegseth more now than ever before. If the left ain't attacking you, you're not doing something right. And Pete Hegseth is getting attacked left and right by the media. To bring it down, the sex scandal, the mama text message or email, the the drinking all of a sudden. Now the media is trying to push that he never went to West Point. There was a news paper, the ProPublica, Jesse Insinger had been preparing to publish a story falsely claiming that the nominee of the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, was lying when he said that he was admitted into West Point but decided not to attend. Now, this is they're trying to put it like, oh, he never went to West Point, or he was he never went there, or he never was how can I say, he was never admitted into it. But they didn't do their research. They probably didn't talk to Pete Hegseth, because Hegseth could have ended this right away, and Hegseth did end it right away, because when the story was about to be published, Hegseth published something. And this is how you get the left. This is how you get the media. Well, you did this, you did that. Prove them wrong. And it makes them look stupid, like this guy, Jesse Insinger. Pete Hegseth published his West Point acceptance letter, providing the claims of his claims of leading ProPublica to kill the story all of a sudden. Well, why did this newspaper, ProPublica, whatever, I never heard of the publication, want to put this story out? Because, ladies and gentlemen, they're trying to stop Pete Hegseth. And again, like I said, I'm liking Pete Hegseth a lot more. Now, look, I had an individual come up to me the other day, and this individual asked me about Pete Hegseth and all kind of other stuff. And look, I like Pete Hegseth. Is he the most perfect person in the world? And this is actually what I told, this individual. I said no, but I think he's the best pick for this position. We're not trying to nominate the pastor of the White House. If there were, and Pete Hegseth was up, I'm like, no, we don't need Pete Hegseth, because there's a lot of things that he has done that is wrong. I know we all flawed human beings. I have to give that point out. But Pete Hegseth is not the most perfect human being, again, but he is. I think he's the right fit for this job. And for the media to continue to aggressively attack this man and to try to take him out from resigning shows volumes, in my humble opinion. And look, the left has been successful at doing this, of taking out key personnel for Donald Trump. They did it with Michael Flynn. They did it with Matt Gaetz. Now they're trying to go 3 for 3 with Pete Hegseth, but I don't think they're going to do it this time. We talked about John Fetterman earlier, wanting to talk with this man. John Fetterman could be the key to putting him in there. Because if a Democrat comes and says, I endorse Pete Hegseth, all the rest of those Republicans that are, well, we're not sure we should do it, is going to put pressure on them. But for this publication to outright lie like this speaks volumes as well. They should lose every subscriber they have, because they purposely are lying to the American people. And look, he maybe didn't know, but also it goes to a point. I want to bring that out. Let me go back to the news article that I just had. This is why it is a big issue, because some Representative Banks wants to know who's the rep, because the guy that went ahead and was Jesse Insinger that wrote this story said his source was a staffer at West Point. Now, you're telling me West Point, being a fine institution like it is, didn't know? To be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it was a mistake. I think they were really trying to sabotage Donald Trump's pick. Either this reporter did not know, or he lied, or he trusts the wrong source. Now is, hey, he did it. No, he did it. He did. We have to get to the bottom of this. There's somebody that's trying to stop Donald Trump. and his picks. And look, like I said, they're throwing. I said this the other day, and I made a lot of people hungry. I'm probably going to make them hungry again. A lot of this is people, they're putting mustard on bologna, and they're throwing it up on the ceiling, and they're hoping it sticks. That's what they're doing right here. Let's put this lie up. It's stuck. Poof. No, it fell down. Let's do it again. Nope. That's what they're doing. They're all these. Hey, look, this is not making the Democrats look any better, or the media, by the way. I'm just making this point. Every time something like this gets exposed for what it is, it hurts the Democrat Party and it hurts the media. And instead of just saying, no, we're not going to worry about no. All right. Durbin, I think it's Pete Durbin. Let's make sure. Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin. I thought it was another name. Anyway, said he does think Democrats can make a deal with President-elect Donald Trump on Dreamers, and they deserve a chance to earn their way to citizenship. This happened with host Dana Bash from CNN. Donald Trump said on Sunday he would work with Democrats to allow Dreamers to stay in the United States. You went down this road with Trump during the first term unsuccessfully, unlimitedly. Do you think you can realistically get a deal done with Trump on Dreamers, and what could be done? Durbin's response, based on what he said last Sunday, and this happened with Trump's interview with I think CBS, the morning show that CBS does. Based on what he said last Sunday, I do believe that I was sitting on the couch kind of listening and half reading the paper. You know, this is an old dude when he's reading a newspaper, just saying. And then he got into the Dreamers, and I sat up straight, and he said he was ready to talk. He wanted to see if we could find an agreement between Republicans and Democrats. And I'll just tell you, anytime, any place, Mr. President, call me and I'll be there. There are hundreds of thousands of lives at stake of good people who came to this country as kids and deserve a chance to earn their way to citizenship. Now, the Dreamer issue is a little different with the border issue. Okay, a parent that comes over willingly knowing that he broke the law, hey, you can't justify that on a lot of issues. If it's a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old kid that really doesn't have a choice and they come over, they didn't make the decision to come over. Now, I think you can make some. Donald Trump and these people can, but I can understand, other people. They're illegal. Whatever. We're gonna leave this up to Donald Trump and them to figure this out. But I'm liking what I'm hearing with this. I know this is one topic, but we should do this. See, this is the thing this is what made America so great back in the day. And look, Democrats and liberals have always been the stubborn-headed people they are. And they have been on the wrong side of history a lot of times. But, normally American citizens or American politicians will come together and say, what do we agree on? This. All right, this is what we're going to push. Now let's talk about the things we disagree on and try to come up to a compromise that benefited both sides. And it never happened. If you notice, it never happened with the Democrat side. But Dick Durbin saying, hey, I want to talk to Donald Trump. Let's see. We'll see what happens. But it's also a point, too. It's funny how Democrats are more willing to hear all of a sudden, too. Normally, Democrats are like, it's our way or no way. And then after it's like, well, you can't push it. You got to hear us. A lot of Democrats, John Fetterman, Dick Durbin, and all these people are like, hey, let's talk with them. I think they're starting to smell the coffee. Just saying that. All right, we got a couple of other things, man. I had a lot in these last couple of days. With an overload of stories like this, I wish I did a show every day because there's a lot of stories that we can cover. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about a few sports figures, and I'm going to talk about the NFL. After this, we're going to be going to handy news. Patrick Mahomes blasts NFL for making Chiefs play on Christmas Day. So this year, this will be the second year in a row that the Chiefs will play on Christmas Day. The NFL is scheduled a rare slate of Wednesday games this season to ensure that it will have games played on Christmas Day, and Patrick Mahomes is not happy about it. Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback for the Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are one of 4 teams that will have to spend their Christmas at work with a matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Baltimore Ravens will play the Houston Texans later that night. It will also mean Mahomes and his teammates will play 3 games in 11 days. They play the Cleveland Browns on December 15th, which is this Sunday coming up. They have to play Houston on December 21st. I think December 21st is a Thursday. Let's see. I want to make sure before. December 21st is a Saturday. So they're playing the 12th. No, correction. Siri wants me to talk. Anyway, so they play on the 15th, they play on the 21st, and then they play on the 25th. That's a lot of games in 11 days. 3 games in 11 days. Never heard of before. Last year, the Chiefs faced the Las Vegas Raiders on Christmas Day, but that game was on a Monday, so it really didn't matter, okay? Usually you have a Monday night game. Now, Patrick Mahomes is worried about his health. He's worried about his family. He's saying, it's not a good feeling because they asked him about the short amount of time. Mahomes told reporters, you never want to play this amount of games in a short time. It's not great for your body, but at the end of the day, it's your job. You're a professional. You have to come to work. Mahomes was asked whether he would ever had a game, 3 games in his in a short span. He said, I haven't in football. He replied, all you can do is focus on the game, the practice you have that day. Mahomes added, I try to prepare my body all year long for this stretch. This tolerance, that's tolerating my workouts, tolerating how you practice and prepare. So he's been preparing this. I will make this point, okay? So they made a point how Mahomes and his wife Brittany are both Christians. My Christian faith plays a role in everything I do. He told reporters before the Super Bowl. Okay, that's an old quote. No, but anyway, football on Christmas. It was never heard of when I was growing up. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind watching football on a holiday because you're home and whatever. But in my opinion, football should not be played on any holidays. I talk about, look, I'm going to say this. I like watching football on Thanksgiving too. But if you come down to the core issue of this, it's all about money. Because Netflix is playing one of these games and they're paying a lot of money. This is going to be the next Netflix live event. Let's hope they do better than the Mike Tyson Paul fight. But anyway, I don't think football should be played on holidays. This is a time for your family. This is a time for friends. This is a time for you to enjoy the people you love. Not watching a football game. That's for us as consumers, but these football players are humans too. Okay, they make millions of dollars, understand they're there to entertain. And at the end of the day, the NFL is trying to make money. They can say whatever they want. They're a nonprofit organization. They're full of baloney. But I'm just saying, football players should not be playing on Christmas Day. Especially on a Wednesday. Who hears of football on a Wednesday? I'm just making that point. Now, you might disagree with me. Also, again, I agree with Patrick Mahomes on this. Making football players play 3 games in 11 days, that got to be hard on the body. Look, they're probably gonna have a good stretch of. They're gonna have. I'm trying to make that point. They're gonna have probably a good rest after this because they can have several days off. But what is the NFL going to do not to make $1? Okay, if the NFL says they care for their people, they shouldn't be making their football players do this. Now, where's the NFLPA? I'm just making that a point at that point too. Why the NFL Players Association ain't coming up and saying, no, y'all shouldn't do this? Probably because the Player Association is making money as well. At the end of the day, this is all done because of greed and money. They want more and more money, and they're trying to expand football apparently to weekdays. And look, like I said, I love football, but I don't think it should happen. I think they should send these people should be home with their families, not in an arena. And look, even that for the fans. I hope the stadium's empty. I hope the 2 stadiums are empty. They're not going to be. That's a wishful thinking. But I wish they'll go up and there's nobody in the stadium. Because people want to honor the birth of Christ. Unfortunately, most people ain't like that. But anyway, one more political story, then we're going to go ahead and raid Handy news, hopefully, if this came out at the right time. I'm believing by faith. All right. Floyd Mayweather gets attacked by an anti-Semitic mob over his support for Israel. I didn't know this, but look, I'm going to be honest with you. As a boxer, I do not like Floyd Mayweather. Not at all. Floyd Mayweather got his money and he's rich. Look, capitalism working for him. This dude could not box. And look, people say, oh, yeah, he could box. Yeah, he was a good defense boxer. He liked to run around the ring and not get hit. And when he had his opportunity, he just hit with one. He had that much force. I will give him that. But Floyd Mayweather was not my favorite boxer. I think it was him and Conor McGregor. I was pulling for Conor McGregor. And if you watch that fight, Conor McGregor had some good shots on him, and they didn't do it. Anyway, but I do like Floyd Mayweather in this capacity. He supports Israel. He has done several things to protect Israel and the armies. And for that, though, he has been getting criticized by some anti-Semitic people. And the other day, he was allegedly attacked. I believe it's been confirmed because he has talked about it as well, where he was trying to get in his SUV and people just stormed him. These loving, caring Palestinian protesters. They just ran up on him. Now, this does raise a couple of questions in my just a point that I had. I thought these people were the people of tolerance and understanding and peaceful people. Now, look, the pro-Palestinian mobs out there, they have been brutal, and I don't think this is right. Look, attacking a man because he supports our ally is really low to earth. Now, this is half of Congress and half of the Senate. Let's say Congress and the Biden administration have been pushing pro-Palestinian policies for a long time. And look, Floyd Mayweather has his issues. But he has the right to go ahead and support whoever he wants. But this shows the true character of these pro-Palestinian protesters. And look, I'm not even going to say pro-Palestinian. I need to say it correct. Pro-Hamas protesters. These are the people that are encouraging Israel to cease fire and to help and for their enemies to regroup. These pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas protesters are pushing for things that are inhumane. They hate God and they hate Israel. And this shows them attacking a man like this because because they disagree with him on who he stands for is wrong. And we need to come up. We need to go ahead and make sure that this doesn't happen again. And look, Donald Trump is not the solver of all our problems, but I think he's going to solve this problem. And I just think it's sad that we live in a country that a man is getting attacked because he supports Israel. Now, if this was opposite, if this was Jewish people attacking a pro-Palestinian person, oh, you hear all over the news, how they're not pushing for freedom. They need to go ahead and endorse. They need to stop the violence. Like I said, I had to find this on conservative news networks. It's just that you're not hearing none of this on mainstream media because it goes against the narratives of the Democrat Party. With that being said, it's going to wrap up this week's episodes of the Isaac Hayes Show. Thank you, as always, for being part of the show. Hope you have a good weekend. We will see you Monday, one more week. Well, a little over a week until the holiday of Christmas. Again, we will be live. We will not have a show on Christmas Day. And I'm going to do better than the NFL. I'm not going to have a show. But on that Friday, I'm going to be live in the studio. So it's not going to be premiere. I better read your comments. I better chat with everybody. And, man, you know what? I'm going to think about it. We might even do like an open mic thing. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens. It's during the day. I don't know. We're going to see. But I can't wait. I'm going to have several days off. We're going to have several shows that are live. So it's going to be nice. And I'm going to live hopefully in the future where I can do this full time one day. Who knows? God's going to provide. With that being said, again, I'll wrap it up. You guys have a blessed weekend. God bless you. God keep you. May his face always shine upon you. Just remember that he is king. He is Lord. He has already won the battle and the war. Just put your faith and trust in him, and he will make heaven. You can make heaven your home by doing that. All you have to do is put your faith and trust in Jesus. Until next time, you be blessed, you be encouraged. Y'all have a good one.